Hey brother! Jay, the Harry Potter movies are great, but there is just no way they could pack 4,175 pages into about 20 hours of movie without suffering a little bit or leaving some things out. Sometimes this was a good thing, like no Death Day party or no SPEW. Personally, I kind of would have liked to have seen them denome the Weasley's garden, but I can kind of see why they left that out. Where is Peeves? Where's Marope Gaunt? The letter from Lily to Sirius? Winky? Where's the Quidditch World Cup? Where are the blast-ended Scroots? Hey, brother! Sorry. Sometimes I can get a little carried away. But if the freaking Scroots aren't somewhere in Fantastic Beasts, I'm gonna have a conniption. Everybody just tweet this to J.K. Rowling. Also, Harry's eyes aren't green, and I know Daniel Radcliffe's eyes didn't respond well to the green Condex, but I just wanted them to have his mother's eyes. All right, now that I got that out of my system, I'm all good. Now I would like to discuss my top 10 favorite moments from the movies, and at least one of these items isn't even in the books. So I went back to my original copy and scribbled it in. Kind of my own half-blood prince. Well, let's just dive right on in with number 10.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, he is! So this moment is actually pretty magical to me because when reading the book for the very first time, I had no idea what the plot actually was. And as soon as Hagrid arrives, all of the owls, all of the letters, and even the Dursleys' just passionate hatred towards Harry, all of a sudden make sense with just 4 simple words. And also, I just regularly quote this line in daily conversation. It's amazing how often it applies. Should we make coffee? You're a wizard, Harry. So donuts instead? That brings me to number 9. Hermione corrects Ron.
You're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
This has got to be like one of the most iconic, or at least most quoted lines from all of the films, and for good reason. Because I don't know about you guys, but I could not get this spell down until this advice. And including a Hermione clip, I promise, is only like 98% because of my Emma Watson crush. Which is strong, but not quite as strong as my Daisy Ridley crush. And following my crush on both of those is number 8, Professor Lockhart and everything he says. Man, if there was just one teacher that they got right, it was McGonagall. But if there was another teacher, it was Snape. But if there was a third teacher, it was Lockhart.
I see you've all bought a complete set of my books. Well done.
J.K. Rowling and Lockhart weirdly have a lot in common. I don't even know if I have words for this. Just roll the montage.
Hardly any of you remember that my favorite color is lilac. I didn't get rid of the band and banshee by smiling at them. My secret ambition is to rid the world of evil and market my own range of hair care potions.
Do you live here?
Honestly, overall, I think I'm just really impressed with Kenneth Branagh's interpretation of this character, because in the books I was always more or less annoyed with Lockhart, but he was hysterical in the movies. Which brings me to everyone else's favorite comic relief, number 7, Minerva McGonagall.
I've always wanted to use that spell.
This character, not actually at all known for being the comic relief, during the most bleak and dark of times, actually shines through. Not to mention, she uses my favorite insult of all time.
You blithering idiot.
Which I strongly feel is underused, and encourage all of you to use it more often. But probably my favorite McGonagall moment is
Potter. It's good to see you.
I love this moment. Throughout the entire series, McGonagall has always sort of maintained as this stern, authoritative figure that never gives Harry any type of special treatment despite being his head of house. And in this moment, it's like she's treating him as an equal. Speaking of being treated as an equal, that brings me to number 6, Dobby the house elf. Seriously, is there any character more adorable than Dobby?
Dobby never meant to kill. Dobby only meant to maim or seriously injure.
He just loves Harry so much, and all he ever wants to do is protect him, even if it means hurting him.
Never tried to save my life again.
Jeez, it is a good thing he didn't take him up on that.
Dobby's come to rescue Harry Potter, of course.
But the reason Dobby has to get creative in order to help Harry is because of his enslavement to the Malfoys. So after Harry frees him, we kind of get to see Dobby's full power in one snap of the fingers. But then of course there is the amazing and sad
Dobby is happy to be with his friend.
As long as we're all crying, let's move on to number 5 with always. Well, you knew this had to be on the list, didn't you? I mean, we have the quote on our set. Right here. Snape is one of the greatest triple agents ever. You really have no idea which side he's on throughout the entire series, and even when you find out that he's been working for Dumbledore the whole time, you still have a hard time excusing him for all of the harshness he has towards Harry until you figure out the true reason behind it, his love for Harry's mother, Lily. And he sums it all up with one word.
Always.
Gosh, remember how light and funny the Lockhart scenes were? How did this get so sad?
It was pretty obvious what you're about to do.
And number 4. Oh, thank goodness, this one's awesome. Sorry, Professor, I must not tell lies. Umbridge is the worst. Like, the worst. Like, maybe worse than Voldemort when it comes down to it. I mean, at least Voldemort has the decency to call himself the Dark Lord. I mean, he's being evil on purpose. Umbridge, on the other hand, is just... I think she is so easy to hate because, as far as I know, most of us don't have like an arch nemesis evil wizard that we're battling, but almost all of us probably have an Umbridge, that boss or teacher that just seemed to do everything they could to make your life miserable. And other than Voldemort, she is the only other person to leave a lasting scar on Harry's body. The words, "I must not tell lies," which she forced him to basically carve into his hand night after night using her blood-sucking quill. It is just awful, but it does lead to the greatest burn in the entire series.
Do something! Tell them I mean no harm!
I'm sorry, Professor. I must not tell lies.
Boom! In your face, Umbridge. Number 3. I really, really like this one. So we all know just how important the Potter family was to Sirius. But the scene in the Department of Mysteries when Harry and his team are on their heels and right in the nick of time, Sirius in the Order arrives and he opens with,
Get away from my godson.
But even better was then getting to watch Sirius and Harry just battle side by side, and you can start to see just how effortlessly good Sirius was at magic. But my absolute favorite moment is right here when Sirius says,
Nice one, James! Nice one, James!
This Freudian slip is just so amazing. Like, you know how important James and Lily were to Sirius, and in this moment you can just feel how he feels towards Harry. This is the line that is not actually in the book. They do describe Sirius as kind of a combination of a brother and a father to Harry. And I feel like that relationship is just so summed up in this one comment.
Nice one, James!
Number 2, prepare for chills, and not because of the Dementors.
Expecto Patronum!
Now, personally, I kind of wish that Prongs had like come out here and just started charging down the Dementors instead of that like pulsing aura, but that's besides the point. The reason I love this scene so much is because it's the first time we really see Harry perform a super powerful spell, kind of proving that he is actually a really strong wizard. Yes, he got through the trials of the Sorcerer's Stone, but that really didn't require a lot of magic, and he killed a basilisk, but that also didn't require magic. He used a sword, and he had a lot of help from Fawkes. But fighting off 100 Dementors on his own with one spell, freaking awesome. By the way, what is your Patronus? Mine is a Thestral, and Jesus, like, what is it, like a little Scottish Terrier or something? But that brings us to number 1, our favorite scene from all of Harry Potter, Mrs. Weasley and Not My Daughter. Okay, so fair warning, when we play the clip, she does swear, so if you are watching at home with your kids, earmuffs. 7 kids. That's how many children Mrs. Weasley has, and very little money to boot. And she doesn't even blink an eye at the idea of basically adopting Harry, or at least being a maternal figure for him. She visits him before the final task of the Tri-Wizard Tournament. She sends him sweaters every year. She bakes him cakes, and she just fears for his life as if he was one of her own. The only reason she ever gets mad is because, well, Arthur's potentially fiddling with some type of muggle toy, but otherwise, basically, if something is threatening the lives of one of her children, or because they put their own lives in danger, mostly it's the second one. Mostly Fred and George. And Ron. And Ginny. and sometimes Harry. Definitely not Weatherby though. Raise your hand if you're a book 4 fan. The point is, she is always so concerned about everyone else, you never really think about her dealing out the damage, or would necessarily describe her as like powerful, which is what makes it all the more epic during the Battle of Hogwarts when she sees Bellatrix attacking Ginny and just finally loses it, stepping in and screaming,
Not my daughter, you bitch!
"Woo!" That is epic. And Bellatrix is the last of Voldemort's supporters still standing, and arguably one of the most powerful witches in the entire series. And nicely done, Mrs. Weasley. Nicely done. But there you go, guys. That is our top 10 favorite moments from all the Harry Potter movies. What did you think? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Do you have any that we forgot? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the towel section down below. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see some more Harry Potter ranking action from us, you can click right here to see all of the Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers, or right here for all of the Horcruxes. But Jay, that is everything that I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.